I want to talk about something today. It's something that I just experienced actually, and it's about disrespect, handling disrespect. I used to think that if I made enough money, if I looked a certain way, then people would treat me a certain way. And while that is true, it's not entirely true, it's not completely true. How people treat you how people treat you is not always about you. Most oftentimes it's about them, right? People will treat you from their own understanding, from the way they see life, from the way they feel at the moment, not necessarily about you, about your value, and about your words, right? Certain people are bound to disrespect you because of who they are, because of their personality, not necessarily about, who you are as a person. Now, if you okay so I went out this morning, right? Let me just tell you guys the genesis of me coming to talk about this topic. I went out this morning to buy something, and I felt like I was disrespected by the lady I went to buy something from, right? She doesn't know me, I don't know her, and I'm a customer there to spend my money. And the way she treated me was just out of it. And in that moment, I felt the need to react. I did react a little, but I didn't overreact. I just let her know that what she did is not acceptable. It's not right. It's not proper to treat your paying customer in this way, right? Yes. And when I got back home, I sat down and I thought about it that I could actually have overreacted. And most oftentimes, this is where people miss it because I feel they overreact. When something happens, it is important that you take time to sit down and go over the situation over and over. That's for me though. Some people are very impulse reactors, right? So if something happens, they react immediately to what has happened. But for me, I've learned not to be that way, because when you are that way, most often times you overreact. And the thing about overreacting in certain circumstances is that you might even get to complicate what has happened. You might get to even escalate the issue and even compound. How do you think people engage in fights and somebody gets injured? Okay, somebody says something rude to you, you feel like you need to respond, the person feels like they need to respond. Before you know it, you guys are getting physical with each other. People even die through this means, right? And at the end of the day, if you look at what was the bone of contention, it could be something so minute, something that doesn't even have any real value. But it's just because two people could not control themselves, their angers, and their reaction in that particular moment. That was why things escalated to, properties are being ruined, lives are being lost. And I've seen this situation play out over and over again. Sometimes people, you have an argument with someone, you lay your hands on that person, and the person even passes away from there, and before you know it, you're in jail, you become a murderer, right? You didn't mean to kill that person, and probably the person was even going through other things that could have resulted to their death. It's just that in that moment, because of how you overreacted, you now take on the full blame, right? So I was just thinking that it's really important that self control is so important, and learning how to handle yourself in cases where you feel treated badly, where you feel disrespected, especially if it's someone that you don't know, someone that you're not close with, someone that you're not very familiar with, right? If it's someone that is like your family member, your friend, your co-worker, or someone that you see on a daily basis, I think there's a different reaction to that. You can address the issue and put your feet down that you're not going to be tolerating this in the long run. But if it's someone that you don't know, someone that you met by chance, I think it's important to walk away from the situation. That's what I think is the best approach. You can make it clear that you feel disrespected, and you would not tolerate this, and then you can remove yourself from the situation. I don't think it's wise to stay there and try to get physical, trying to banter, try to go back and forth with the person, because they may not even really understand why you are upset. Now the thing about disrespect is this: what I may consider disrespectful, you may not consider it disrespectful. Right? This is something that I noticed. Like, it's such a big issue, because you can be doing something I think is rude and uncalled for, and to you it's very normal. It's very normal because you've done it to other people and they have tolerated it. Now some people don't have boundaries, and I think that's what contributes to making the world a terrible place, because some people have no self-worth, they have no boundaries, and they don't have limits. So somebody treats them badly and they tolerate it, so the person thinks it's okay to go around treating everybody badly like that. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. So yes, now someone thinks it's okay to go around treating everybody badly like that, because one person tolerated it, right? But what I may think is disrespectful, you may not think is disrespectful, right? So this is where individual differences come into play. But for me, if I think something is disrespectful, no matter who it's coming from or anything, I'm always going to make that clear. I don't have to tolerate something because you think it's okay. I don't have to tolerate something because you think it's fine. I don't have to tolerate something because it's okay by you. If I feel like it's rude, it's disrespectful, if it crosses my boundaries and all of that, I'm going to make that clear and I don't have to accept it, which is why I said if it's in a familiar situation, I make it clear that this is not acceptable to me. But if it's a situation where I don't know the person properly, I just remove myself from the situation. Now, the main thing I want to talk about is that immediate reaction that we have when we feel disrespected, that immediate reaction that we have on the spot. And most of the time, it's not something that you can control because we are react. It's like reflex, right? It's like reflex. You're reacting, you know, sometimes subconsciously. It's just like your reflex action. Somebody says something that is entirely rude and all of that, and you just react, right? You want to talk back, you want to react to your body language, your body movements, right? And the person also feels like they should also react to you. So now you guys are going back and forth, sometimes in a public place with a stranger that you don't even know. It's unnecessary, which is why for me the best thing is to remove yourself from the situation. And self-control is also really important. Self-control is so important. I think we should learn how to control ourselves on the spot. The main thing is learning how to control our reflex actions, right? If someone says something disrespectful to you, you don't have to react back, you don't have to call them names, you don't have to be rude. The best thing is to walk away for your own good, especially if it's someone that you don't know, because you don't want to engage, you don't want to stoop low, you don't want to compound, whatever the problem is, and you don't know what you're dealing with, you don't know the kind of person that they are, you don't know where they're coming from. So for me, the best thing is just to remove myself from situations of disrespect. But if it's someone that you know, even before you remove yourself, you can address it. You can let them know that this is not acceptable. What you did is wrong, what you did is rude, what you did is not right. Okay, it's not proper to treat people this way, to react this way, to label people, to say this kind of things. Okay, you can treat them accordingly and then remove yourself. You don't have to stay there and go back and forth. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm getting at. But disrespect is not limited to people who are poor, people who are ugly, people who are not smart. Disrespect is everywhere. Okay, no matter how rich you are, you definitely encounter someone that will disrespect you. No matter how intelligent you are, you definitely encounter someone that will disrespect you. So disrespect is not limited in any way. um, anybody can experience anybody can experience disrespect from anybody else. So it's something that we should even brace ourselves for. I'm not saying we should walk around preparing to be disrespected, but it's something that should, in case it comes, nobody's above being disrespected, unfortunately. Even the presidents or leaders or chairmen, prime ministers, everybody faces disrespect. And like I said earlier, it's not about you, it's about the person that is disrespecting you. Some people have no manners, no morals, no boundaries, so they can say whatever to whoever without caring about the consequences. It's just a reflection of who they are. It's not a reflection of the recipient, it's a reflection of the person that is dishing out the disrespect. Yeah, so it's important that as human beings we learn how to handle ourselves in uncomfortable situations. In a broader way to look at it, uncomfortable situations could include disrespect, embarrassing situations. Also, in situations that are embarrassing, in fact, I think I'm not as embarrassed as I used to be. Actually, I'm not. Certain things happen now. I take it as one of those things that happen in life, because embarrassing moments will definitely happen. Things that you don't expect. Okay, and if you're so full of shame, you mishandle yourself when things like that happen. But if you're a bit more confident, if you understand that things like this happen to everybody, like I said earlier, um, there are unique experiences, but very few unique experiences. Whatever that you have been through, someone else has also been through something like that or something similar, or they know someone that has been through something like that as well. So situations like that are actually very few and they're unique. So just know that while you're experiencing something that you think is embarrassing, somebody else has also experienced something that is embarrassing, or they are about to experience something that is equally embarrassing as well. um okay, I think I'm noticing that something is wrong. I'm not sure what it is. But let me end this live and I'll figure it out. Bye.